On today's episode of Oh God, What's That Noise? What Broke This Time? We'll be trying to replace a fuel tank strap for a 2009 Chevy Tahoe hybrid. If you have a fuel tank strap break, it's inevitable that it's going to do it probably right after you fill up your tank, or possibly even when you're filling up your gas tank. This one, it broke right after I filled up the tank at a gas station, then drove just around the corner and pulled into the Home Depot parking lot. When I pulled in, suddenly I heard strange noise. Stop the truck immediately, get out, crawl underneath. Yep, strap's broken. Fortunately, I carry ratchet straps in the back of the truck, and I was able to just strap it back up into place to take that load off of the remaining tank strap, since it has two on it, and get it home. Now, the other strap picked up, or the replacement straps picked up at AutoZone. It was something like $53 for the pair. They come as a set, but only one strap broke, so the other one I will just be putting in my Tahoe parts bin until the day that I need it. For now, let's quick crawl under the truck. I'll show you what we need to do, what we need to replace, and then we'll get to it. Okay, we're laying under the truck. We got the truck backed up on ramps. The easiest way to get the truck up on ramps is put it in 4 low and just let it creep up onto the ramps. And then once you're up, make sure you either have parking brake on, have wheel chocks in front of your front tires, or something similar, just for added safety. Now, as you can see, this strap right here broke. The side that's bolted up, here's your bolt up here. That's going to be a 5/8 bolt. If it is pretty corroded, you'll want to hit it with a wire brush and probably some PB blaster or something else. Let it soak in to break free before you try getting that bolt out. The other side, has a T-hanger right behind that ratchet strap that just slides into that slot and hangs down to hold it in place. Again, as you can see, fortunately I had a ratchet strap to hold the fuel tank in place while I got it home. Now, as I mentioned, that is a 5/8 socket. So what you'll need for this is a 5/8 socket, long extension. I paired it up with a 3/8 to 1/2 adapter on my breaker bar, just because it is a little rusted in place. You'll definitely want a pair of safety glasses so all that rust and crap isn't falling into your eyes. And these are the replacement straps from AutoZone. Once we get the old bracket out, we'll just pair it up next to the straps to make sure that it is in fact the right one before we try putting the new one back in. Now, something I forgot to mention is, like I first said, if it's going to break, it's probably going to break right after you fill it up with fuel. All that added weight is just going to push it past the breaking point, and it's finally going to snap. Now, since it can be tough getting that new strap on with all that weight in the fuel tank, in this case, the Tahoe has a 24-gallon tank, so since unleaded gas is a little bit lighter than water, it's something around 6.1 pounds per gallon, so it's going to be about 150 pounds of fuel in that tank. You'll probably want to try to siphon that gas out if possible. I pulled out like 22 gallons of it, so the tank is pretty empty right now, making it a lot easier to get that new strap back up. I'm not wrestling with all that weight to get the new one in. Okay, getting the bolt out wasn't too bad. The bolt wasn't very corroded. I'm still going to clean that up with a wire brush before putting the new one in. But as you can see, some water had gotten into the rubberized coating that they put on the strap and rusted it inside the coating, which is where it broke. Now it looks like it matches up with this one. It straightened out some when I put the ratchet strap on, since it had all that pressure, all that weight in the tank. So it should fit up just fine with the new one in. But I'm going to clean up that bolt and then get the new one back in. Okay, here's that T-slot I showed you before. The new one just goes up, slides in, and hangs right like that. The other thing I mentioned was siphoning the gas out of your tank. Again, I strongly recommend doing that if you have a full tank of gas, because it's a lot easier to get that strap up and tight if you're not fighting with 150 pounds of fuel. Since I got all the fuel out, I can lift the tank just with one hand, whereas if it were full, or when it was full, and right after the strap broke, it was hanging down to here, and I had to ratchet that sucker back up into place. So it's much easier doing it with an empty tank. There we go, and bolt is back in with the new strap on. Now, something I saw in videos from other guys replacing them on Silverados, Tahoes, Yukons, etc., was a few of them replaced the bolt because they said since the end of this bolt had that 1/4 inch or 3/8 of an inch that is unthreaded, they weren't able to get it started because of how far away from the frame the hanger is when they are first trying to start the bolt. Number one problem is that they, again, didn't siphon the gas out of the tank, so it had all that weight and they couldn't push it up to the frame. Again, since I did, it was a lot easier getting it started. I was able to get that unthreaded part fed up through the hole to the threads because I could lift the tank up to start it. And two, as long as your bolt is cleaned up, you won't have any problem starting it. The other thing is, you'll see it looks kind of like the top of that strap there is a little bent. That seems to be common. I'm not sure why. It's probably just how they are. When you tighten the strap up, it's gonna look like it doesn't fit. It's gonna look like the strap is a little bit short, not making it all the way to the frame. But you'll wanna tighten that bolt down all the way. I saw a couple videos where guys left it like a 1/4 inch away from the frame because the end of the strap was bending as they were tightening it. But you're gonna wanna tighten it all the way so that bolt doesn't work its way out and come loose and the strap fall off when you're doing 70 miles an hour down the freeway. All in all, easy job, probably 20-minute fix. Once you get the fuel siphoned out, getting the gas siphoned out can take a while because you're probably feeding a small gauge plastic tube down into the tank to draw it out into other gas tanks. But it's something you can easily do. You don't necessarily need to back the truck up on ramps. It's just kind of tight doing it without them. So I strongly recommend it if you have a set of ramps available. Otherwise, you can back the truck up onto a curb or retaining wall, anything like that, just to give yourself a little bit more space working under there. Again, it's a job you can do without having to take it to a mechanic. It's something that happens often on vehicles, the strap wearing out over time. Mine just broke a little bit earlier than normal because of the climate I live in, a lot of snow, a lot of road salt, and it just so happened to get into that rubberized coating on the strap from the manufacturer. Until next time, good luck with your truck.